And I put it on the floor. My view was very, very clear. I believe in term limits. I don't believe in age limit. Because you see, when you talk of age limit, now I gave an example of President Kabila. Presentation, I believe the Constitution did a wonderful thing. Each one of you has an opportunity. Please don't despise your representatives when you cannot go and challenge them. The cost of administration in this country, I want to be honest, is so high. Is extremely high. It is something we have to maybe one day take a bold step and look into. Overall. I believe I want to encourage elites and the well-educated and the wealthy and the businessmen. I see in America, I see where billionaires are going to parliament. In Uganda, billionaires, you're saying, no, if I go into politics, I'm exposing my money. Okay? So how are you going to protect it if you can't come and give ideas on how you can protect that money? Our Constitution is a living document. Now, it must move with the times. Some of the amendments, one might not agree with them. Yes, but last time, sir, I gave an example of the issue of age limit. I will seek a cup of coffee with Professor Tayebwa or Justice Ogora to take me through deeply. Because to me, balance of power where one head of the institution appoints others, and you say there is a balance. And this is the one who goes to seek people's mandate. The president goes to seek people's mandate. He goes around for how many months? Looking for votes, abused, demonized, praised, carried on the head. And then you come, you say, you have a balance of power with the ones you will appoint. How? To me, I want to live reality. Maybe the professors will enlighten me more. Even when I was in law school, I really interrogated it much deeper to material, and it couldn't make so much sense to me. And then when I became deputy speaker and I now started living the reality, because I believe, to me, it's complementary. It should be complementary. So that, because the executive has a direct responsibility of reporting to the people. A direct responsibility. So if they could work very well with other areas, you do your budget. The president doesn't take his budget to the judiciary, but the judiciary must take their budget to him. So where do you have the balance of power? Where? Okay? So maybe we can interrogate further and we see how best such can be. But we were aiming at that we strengthen the judiciary, we strengthen parliament so that they complement with the executive. Now I'm using my own terms. They complement with the executive and deliver for the people of Uganda. Then appropriation. You saw the other day we had a crisis when the president returned the appropriation bill the first time. And now we have to go back and sit and develop a mechanism. How do we work together on the issue of appropriation? Is a budget sent to Parliament? Because you send a budget to Parliament that comes with what you call unfunded priorities. Now, unfunded priorities, some have been unfunded for 10 years and they are still called priorities. And they are unfunded. And you even bring a supplementary budget, you don't consider unfunded priorities, you bring new priorities. So, we say, okay, through appropriation, can we interrogate further the issue of unfunded priorities? But then, when they are releasing a certificate of financial implication for the appropriation bill, the unfunded priorities are not considered. because you've failed to get money to fund them. Government gives work plans. So as Parliament, do you go and sit and start shifting money from here to here, which is not in work plans of government, which is not in procurement plans of government? So this is where I would want to hear our seniors go a little bit deeper on their intention and how best we can have harmony in such a critical areas when institutions like Parliament are doing their work. And also you bring a budget of 72 trillion, but out of that, on around 26 trillion is discretionary. Now, discretionary, this is money which is not tied. The rest is statutory. Loan repayments, salaries, budget of judiciary, budget of state house, budget of parliament, budget of local government service commission, budget of IGG, all of those are tied. You can only make comments. You cannot change anything. So, appropriation. How do we have that balance? Representation. Now, the one of representation is interesting. I have people who bash Parliament all the time. And they are usually led by Godman. And sometimes Sarah. And when I stood as a member of Parliament, I had, I was surviving well in my businesses. So I have colleagues, business colleagues who called me. And they said, what are you doing in this thing? Please, you are doing well in your business. Why are you causing yourself problems? And then I said, but you people, do you know the role of Parliament? They are the ones who determine the taxes I pay as a businessman. So why do you want me to send people who have never sold tomatoes to determine taxes? And that's why one day I asked people in finance on taxes, principles of taxation. And I said, how do you put excise duty on cement? Because excise duty in principles of taxation, we know it's sin tax. So how can construction be a sin that you penalize it with excise duty? Okay? You put excise duty on cement. But really? Yeah, but you see, we've identified we must get money here. Okay? And then now you will take it to an MP who has never paid any tax or employed any person. And you think he will bother. So, I want Godba to go and stand in Ntungamo and come to Parliament and make it better. Because you see, we have a saying in our Nyankore, which I share with some of my people here, that otamkuisat muikare tujendi. You know, in a wrestling match, when you're struggling, you know, fighting, struggling for your balance, the spectators are saying, no, just hit him down, we go. Oh, you see, when we are watching football, how people can abuse a striker like Saka. I say, why? How can he miss out? You give them an empty goal, they can't even put in. So, you elites of Uganda and commentators, why are you on television talking of how we have a substandard parliament? How we have average members of parliament as if you were stopped from standing? Who has stopped you? Why can't you come and make it better? Why? Come in. Go to the village, look for those votes. You'll see what it takes. Because society will get leaders it deserves. You don't stand, but you're ready to assess whoever stood and passed through. And then after you say, I'm better. But you come in the arena and you see what it takes. So I believe I want to encourage elites and the well-educated and the wealthy and the businessmen. I see in America, I see where billionaires are going to parliament. In Uganda, billionaires, you're saying, no, if I go into politics, I'm exposing my money. Okay? So how are you going to protect it if you can't come and give ideas on how you can protect that money? So on the issues of representation, I believe the Constitution did a wonderful thing. Each one of you has an opportunity. Please don't despise your representatives when you cannot go and challenge them. Finally, I think we still have, of course, a lot to work on as a country. And also this, by the way, we've had a very big debate on the issue of numbers of parliament. They also concern me because the cost of administration in this country, I want to be honest, is so high, is extremely high. It is something we have to maybe one day take a bold step and look into. Overall, the cost of finding that, I remember when we were young, a policeman says, I will beat you and government will pay. Okay? I'll beat you and government will pay. I'm permanent and pensionable. Whether one works or not, the process, no process of accountability in public service, they are so tight, I don't know what we can do to ensure that maybe public service or public servants are on contract. They sign performance contracts. If you don't perform, you go. We have very many unemployed people. But the issue of the numbers in Parliament, the other day we were talking and someone said, but look, even the Constitution, I don't think you have fulfilled the requirements of the Constitution of all marginalized groups being represented in Parliament. All marginalized. Now even the poor are going to say we are marginalized, we are poor, you're not considering. And people are forming their own groups now with the advent of circles, associations. We are going to have more and more coming up. But I think we make a lot fit in society, not society fit in a law. Our Constitution is a living document. Now, it must move with the times. Some of the amendments, one might not agree with them. Yes, but last time, sir, I gave an example of the issue of age limit, where personally my view, and I put it on the floor, my view was very clear. I believe in term limits, I don't believe in age limit. Because you see, when you talk of age limit, now I gave an example of President Kabila. He became a president of the DRC. I think he was around 31 years. So if you are using the age limit of Uganda, which was 75 years, that people were fighting about, then it means President Kabila would legitimately be a president in DRC for 44 years without you questioning. Colonel Stresser in Sierra Leone, I think he became a president at around 26 years. So it would mean that for 49 years he's legitimately a president without you questioning anything. So that's why some of us believe that, well, some of the amendments, I wasn't there when they amended the Constitution to remove term limits. I've read the arguments. Some are interesting, some I don't know. I was there for age limit, and I supported age limit amendment. And up to now, even if we had to argue like how long, I would stand by that. That I believe in term limits, I don't believe in age limit. So we still have gaps that we have to work on. The issue of the 2/3 gender rule, it is something which we have not yet fully addressed, but I believe compared to the rest of Africa and the rest of the world, we are making very good progress and very many other issues to do with governance, which I believe a constitution being a living document, we shall slowly look into.